it's your girl Layla. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a video because a lot of you guys had asked me in my Q&A video back in November if I could, I think that was November or December, if I could do a face or a skincare routine, and I did want to do that today, but I want to talk to you guys about my skin first and how I really cleared it, because I can go on all day about my favorite skincare products and what I use nowadays, but to get rid of the underlying problem that I had for such a long time, I can't just attribute it to my skincare routine and the products I use. I use that to maintain good skin, but for the most part, I want to talk about my acne, my struggle with acne, and that is this video. Probably not my next video, because I'll probably break it up and do like a vlog in between, but I will do a skincare routine later on this month, so stay tuned for that if you guys are interested in my actual products that I use. So if you are not already subscribed, please go ahead and click the subscribe button below. I upload videos twice a week, every Sunday and Wednesday. Without too much rambling, let's go ahead and get started on this video. So I wanted to talk about this for a really long time on my channel, but I feel like this has been an insecurity of mine for a really long time from my teenage years, that it's kind of a part of my life that I like to not really hide away, because these past few years I've been more open to talking about things that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with talking about before, but I'm definitely more comfortable talking about this now than I would have been a few years ago. So my struggle with acne, oh man, it's been a really long road. I started getting acne and breaking out back probably when I was like 14. Sort of in some parts of my skin at first. It wasn't nothing too serious. I remember having this Maybelline blush, and I was super allergic to this blush. Like, I wore it because it made my cheeks just look really pretty and really glowy. Now I have a product that's similar to that. It's called NARS's Orgasm, but back then this Maybelline blush was all I could afford, and it just made my skin glow and just look so nice, but I was super allergic to it, so I had breakouts all around the apples of my cheeks pretty much, and then started getting worse progressively. And as I did more research into acne and face mapping, if you guys don't know what face mapping is, I really highly suggest it. If you're struggling with acne, do some research on like areas of your skin that will break out due to either stress, not drinking enough water, the food that you're eating, or hormones. Just a bunch of different factors that go into acne and where it is on your face. You can definitely do some research on that. That's what I did, and I finally figured out probably back when I was 16, so I had acne for a good like 2 years before I really figured out that it was my hormones. My hormones were not balanced. I went to the doctor a few times. I always went with my mom, and they always prescribed different sort of creams, like antibiotic creams, variations of salicylic acid based creams that are prescription only. And while they did work for a period of time, they stopped working, like probably 2 weeks later or something like that. Like, they worked for the first bit, and then I had to go back to the doctor, get more cream, and finally one of my doctors suggested that I go on birth control. Now, being that my mom is really super strict Filipino mother, she did not want me to get on birth control. This was back when I was 16, guys. My skin was just freaking out. I was not a confident person at all. I had braces. I was like your ugly duckling, awkward teenager, just like messed up with no self-esteem whatsoever. I was not about to be having sex with any boys back then, okay? My mom had a really bad like misconception about birth control, what it was like actually used for, what it was gonna do to my skin, etc, etc. She didn't think it was a good idea because it's really about preventing you from having children at a young age, not for like the skin factor or like the clearing up my skin factor. So she'd always said like, oh, it'll cause cancer in the long run, it's not good to put hormones, artificial hormones into your body, etc, etc. We can figure this out, we can cure it without that. Okay, so fast forward, I probably back when I was 16, I started using Proactive, and that really it was really bad at first because literally the stuff cleans out your skin so much. Like, it cleans out all your pores, all your acne just kind of pops up everywhere, all over my face. Every inch of my face was covered in some sort of acne. It just cleared up every single one of my pores one by one, and it took super long. So I was on it for a good probably 6 months before my skin started clearing up, but it was a terrible thing. I still use Proactive to this day, so you guys will see that in my skincare routine. But oh man, when I first started using Proactive, it was just not a fun experience. I did not wear makeup because my mom had always told me that foundation and stuff like that would clog my pores and make my acne worse, and that was the last thing that I wanted to do. So I literally would just hide behind my hair. I always had really long hair. My hair used to be dark. If you guys had watched my previous videos from a long time ago, you know that my hair was like dark, pretty much black, and I would just hide behind my hair all day long. I would just, yeah, it was not a fun time. I would avoid talking to people. I would avoid taking pictures. It was a really difficult time for me, and if I could show you guys the before and after for my skin, like, I would honestly love to do that, but all of my pictures from back then are edited. So there was no Instagram back then. There was no apps to filter my skin to make me look perfect. So I would have to go on, like, I had those digital cameras from back in the day, those like Sony Cybershot cameras, and it came with like a disc, and it had like its own free editing software that came with it. And you could literally like dot on your face and blur out whatever was on your face, like blur out your acne or whatever, but it always looked super fake and edited. It didn't look like you, what is it called? It didn't look like you photoshopped it. It looked fake. It looked like there was just blurriness all over your skin. So what I would do is I would do that, and then on top of that I would mess with the contrast, mess with the color scheme, fade my pictures to make my skin look flawless, and it's really sad. So I will, you know, insert a few pictures if I can find some of examples of that, but for the most part I avoided the camera at all costs. I was not a confident person whatsoever, and because of it, because of my acne, I had a lot of scarring that I had to deal with, which I will also talk about in my skincare routine about how I got rid of most of my acne scars. But I want to tell you guys that if my mom had let me go on birth control back then, my skin would have been a whole lot better nowadays. It would have been a whole lot clearer. I wouldn't have had that struggle with having scars or whatever. So yeah, I always knew it was my hormones. So finally, when I got into my first serious relationship, I decided that getting on the pill was a good idea. So I've been taking this since probably 2015, and my skin has just, it's been amazing. It's been great. I've had some, you know, hormonal acne here and there. So let me just explain this before I get into that. So you have like a lower dose, a slightly higher dose, and like the highest dose is the 3rd week, and then you go into your sugar pills, which are nothing. So this is like the combo pill, okay? So it does contain estrogen in it, and that's what I feel like that's what clears up your skin, to be honest with you. So once I get to the later part of my pack, that's when I notice like a little bit of breakouts sometimes. Not every month, but I'll sometimes have breakouts like around my chin area. Sometimes it gets really bad around my chin area, but that's about it. Like, I don't really find that I break out anywhere else on my face other than, you know, if I forget to wash my brushes, my makeup brushes for a while, then I'll notice like a little bit of like white heads and stuff. I still have black heads on the side of my nose, but those are inevitable. Like, I'm still gonna get them. I have super oily skin, so that's just always gonna happen. But this has definitely been what's cleared up my skin, and it's been great. So I will insert the name here. This is actually like honestly amazing. It does say on the package that it does clear up moderate acne, so I definitely highly recommend it. Other than this amazing moisturizer that I found really recently called the Tatcha water cream from Sephora. This stuff is amazing as well. It really has helped my skin, and I will be doing a full skincare routine really soon. If you guys get anything from this video, that my skin hasn't always been perfect, that I have struggled with acne for a really long time. So if you are dealing with that too, I just want you to know that's gonna be okay. There is a lot of research that I did into my skin to really figure out the cause of my acne. By the way, this is not the low dose one. This is the like normal dosage, if you guys were wondering. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you do check out my skincare routine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye everyone. P.S. I just want to say, if you guys want a full review on this, more detail with me talking about it, side effects, etc., please let me know in the comments below, and I will probably do one in the future. Thank you guys for watching this video. Bye.
I can see you on me too. Now it's me and you. Now I've been waiting.